Hello my friends, Amy Esther here, and today we are talking about fibromyalgia and pregnancy. I get lots of questions about fibro and pregnancy, so I'm going to answer those in this video today, as well as just kind of share my experience being pregnant with fibromyalgia. This is my second child. I've actually been pregnant 5 times. I've had 3 miscarriages, which were very painful. I don't know if they were more painful because of fibromyalgia or not, but they were very painful. Physically and mentally, of course. But this is my second child that has made it this far. I am currently 37 weeks pregnant as I'm filming this. So I'm still pregnant. Haven't gone through labor and delivery with this baby, but I have been through labor and delivery once before. So we will talk a little bit about that as well. And I will do a whole video after I have this baby about my labor and delivery experience, share with you all the things there as well. So make sure you're subscribed if you are not already so you don't miss when that video comes out. And if you want kind of the step-by-step every single week of my pregnancy, I actually did a pregnancy update. So I will link that playlist down below from 4 weeks till whenever this baby decides to join us. I will have a pregnancy update in that playlist for you. So that will give you even more detail about my personal pregnancy, my experience, all the things. So the first thing, is that I'm out of breath. Okay, it's fine. We're gonna make it through this video, you guys. Freaking pregnancy. I have no breath and trying to talk for so long, it's rough. And we just started, but it's okay. We'll get through this. First things first, people always wonder, is it dangerous to be pregnant? Is it dangerous for the baby if you have fibromyalgia? And my answer is no. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm just sharing my experience. And from what I know, my doctors have told me is that fibromyalgia, unless there's an underlying condition, there is no harm to the baby. So you don't need to worried about your baby. It is just you, right? Just you making it through these 9 months. So with my pregnancy, I would say that I do experience a lot of pain. I do have a whole video, by the way, about fibromyalgia, what it is, all the things. Like if you want details about just fibromyalgia itself, I will link that down below. But fibromyalgia basically means that we have more pain and fatigue than the average human being. And people ask me all the time, so does that mean that your pregnancy is more painful than other people's? Is labor worse than other people's? Are just normal pregnancy symptoms worse? I don't know, because I've never actually been pregnant without fibromyalgia. So I only can compare myself to what I talk to with other friends who don't have fibromyalgia. But since every pregnancy is different anyway, there are people who have no health problems and have the worst pregnancies. There are people who have a ton of health problems and have really smooth, easy pregnancies. So it's hard to really say whether my pregnancy is worse because of fibromyalgia or not. I will say, though, that I do experience a lot of pain with pregnancy. So some of the pain I experience are, I get chronic migraines, which I get those anyway, but I still get those when I'm pregnant. Headaches, migraines all the time. I have a lot of stomach issues as is, so I have a lot of stomach pain when I'm pregnant. I also have my gallbladder act up when I'm pregnant, so I have pain there as well. The bigger my belly gets, the more pain everywhere, which is totally normal with pregnancy, but your ligaments and your muscles and all the things are being stretched. So it just kind of all hurts. And I have talked to people who don't have fibromyalgia who seem to not be in as much pain as me, but I honestly don't know. It's hard to say because I've not experienced what they're experiencing. Maybe I'm more of a wimp than they are. I don't know. But I definitely experience a lot of like round ligament pain, and there's pain called lightning crotch. If you've ever been pregnant, you don't know what that is, but basically it's exactly what it sounds like. It is just a stabbing pain down there that just goes down your leg, and it hurts every time I stand up. I get a lot of pain when I walk around a lot. My contractions will be painful. Even my Braxton Hicks, I'll feel like a little bit of pain, not like labor pains, but enough that my first pregnancy, I definitely questioned whether they were real or not, because I'd never experienced it before. Now I definitely know they're not even close to real labor pains, because that is just its own ball game, and it is crazy. But I do experience some pain with my Braxton Hicks contractions. However, at this moment, like last time I got checked, I was only dilated to a 1, which means they're not actually doing anything. So I don't know if my Braxton Hicks are more painful because of fibro or not, but it is something that I deal with. And then I have my abs separating, which is really common with pregnancy, and it has been very painful this time. I think I have kind of overdone it when it comes to using my ab muscles this time, mostly because I have a toddler to take care of, and I pick her up and I move around with her a lot more than I did when I was pregnant with my daughter, because I didn't have any children to take care of. And so I've been trying to be more careful about that, because that is very painful. And then I do often have cramping. No other like serious symptoms, like something's wrong, and every time we check the baby, he's totally fine. But I do have kind of random cramping here and there with my pregnancies as well. And then just general like muscle aches, joint aches, all of that, which come with pregnancy, are some of the pains that I feel every day. My most severe symptom when I'm pregnant is fatigue. And that's something that I struggle with outside of pregnancy because of fibro and some of the other chronic illnesses I have. So I always have chronic fatigue, but when I'm pregnant, it is really, really bad. This pregnancy, I actually got really anemic. I was also anemic with my daughter. And this pregnancy was low on both iron and B12. And so it's taken me quite a while to get my levels back up. Finally, here I am at 37 weeks, feeling a lot better. But I seriously could not get out of bed. Like, I would lay around, my daughter would just crawl around me and play while I laid in bed, because I was just so sick for most of my pregnancy. I really could not do anything. Probably like the middle to end of my pregnancy until about 36-ish weeks. It's literally been like a couple weeks now that I've been feeling better. But probably since like 28 weeks on, I have just been really anemic and really, really sick. And so the fatigue is definitely something that I deal with, and I've definitely got it worse than other people. However, I was anemic. So do you get anemic because you have fibromyalgia? I wouldn't say those are connected. I have no idea, but that's just something that happens to me in my pregnancies, and I am very, very fatigued during pregnancy. Another thing that's tricky about fibromyalgia in pregnancy is sleep, because we already deal with, insomnia and having a hard time sleeping as is. And pregnancy just makes that worse, especially when you get really big and you have to pee every 5 seconds at night. And I also deal with really extreme thirst with my pregnancies. And so even I wake up in the middle of the night and I go to the bathroom and I have to drink a ton of water again because I'm just so dang thirsty. And then that makes me get up again a few hours later. And so I definitely struggle with sleep when I'm pregnant, but it's really not terrible because you are kind of more tired. So I'd honestly say sometimes it's easier for me to fall asleep when I'm pregnant. I wake up more, but it's almost easier for me to fall asleep just because I'm so exhausted and so tired when I'm pregnant. But I think that kind of just depends on the person and your pregnancy. And I'm sorry this video isn't more directly answering the questions, like, is fibro worse when you're pregnant or not? Because like I said, I don't know. I've never experienced not having fibromyalgia and being pregnant. However, I would say that I do think I'm a little more sick. I definitely have more fatigue. I definitely have more pain than other people. However, I wouldn't say it's unmanageable. It's not that it's not doable. You can totally do it. It's only 9 months. When you're in there and you're at 37 weeks, it feels like the longest 9 months of your life. And especially when you only have a couple weeks left, it feels like every week is a month. But it really is only 9 months. And it's totally worth it to get that baby. Totally, totally worth it. So for me, it's hard, but pregnancy is hard no matter what. And so I don't want to discourage you from getting pregnant because you have fibromyalgia. I totally think that it's doable. I think you, as someone who lives with chronic pain and chronic fatigue all the time anyway, you already know that life. It's just a little bit extra when you're pregnant. And for most people, they live a perfectly healthy life and then they're pregnant and then they feel really sick and they're really frustrated that they're sick all the time. You guys already know how to deal with that. because of that, I actually think you can totally be pregnant and totally make it through those 9 months. If I can do it, you guys, I am a wimp when it comes to pain and all the things, and I can do it. You can definitely do it. And then the last little thing I just want to touch on real fast is labor and delivery. Now, I'm going to do a whole video sharing my labor and delivery story. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that. But I will say that with my daughter, I had very painful contractions when I was in labor, but I was on Pitocin. I got induced with her, and that makes your contractions stronger anyway. And I got an epidural, which, why not? I really struggle with pain medications. I'm very, very sensitive. I had no issues with epidural, like totally fine. Didn't make me sick at all when like Excedrin makes me super sick. Epidurals, I don't know. It's like on the lower half of your body. My doctor said it doesn't usually get up to the top half, and so it doesn't cause as many problems. So I did really well on that. And if that's an option, I say go for it, because whether you're feeling more pain than normal labor or you're just feeling normal labor pain, it is still just some intense pain that you don't want to feel. So no judgment if you want to go natural. I just could never do that because I'm a wimp and I need the drugs to manage that intense pain. However, I definitely think it's totally manageable to deliver a baby. And my experience last time after giving birth, my postpartum period, I felt so good. I had like a high after. Like I felt the opposite of a flare-up after my pregnancy last time, and I'm hoping that happens this time. Again, if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss when I share about that. But I definitely think that pregnancy, postpartum, labor and delivery, all the things are totally manageable when you have fibromyalgia. You might experience a little more pain than normal, but it's totally worth it for that sweet baby. If this video was helpful for you, would you give it a thumbs up for me? If you have any other tips for me or anyone else who is pregnant or wanting to get pregnant while living with fibromyalgia, will you leave that in the comments below? We would love to hear your tips and tricks, and I will see you guys on my next video.